Coming up.
One of the things that we're doing is passing legislation that allows that to happen in Congress. So if we can get that, we're looking at some ways for new and young farmers to enter the business. You have an opportunity today to use this LRP product to lock in those prices for next year's calf crop.
That's right around the corner on the Live Ag Ranch and Livestock Marketing We Live It podcast. But first, a reminder. If it's time to sell your cattle, consign your cattle with Live Ag. Our summer auction schedule is on your screen and available at live-ag.com. Consign your cattle now and take advantage of Live Ag's generations of experience in livestock marketing. Now here's your hosts, deCordova and Casey Mabry.
Welcome to the We Live It podcast. We are pre-recording a few of these here at Cooper's Barbecue. We want to thank Barry Cooper and family for allowing us to be here. This has been an awesome venue for us here at Live Ag. With me today, once again, Casey has bailed. So we have the fill-in here, Wade Leist, let me make sure I say it right. And with us also we have Eric Smith out of Alabama. So we're going to kind of talk here today about some common ground issues with several different organizations that come together. LMA brought several different organizations together to go over and to become united on several different fronts. But first, kind of give a background on how you two know each other. I mean, kind of where y'all met and how y'all met and all that.
Yeah, when I was traveling around for the World Championship for the LMA, the guys at Elite, Jerry Etheridge and Daryl Stokes and them, they needed an auctioneer for one special sale, so I went down. I ended up making a tour all the way through Alabama and got to meet Eric there. We had a nice dinner there, and I was supposed to stay at a hotel. That ended up getting canceled. There was a hurricane come through just about that time.
And all the rooms were needed for rescue people.
Yeah, they were coming down to reset the power, I think, or getting prepared for it. Maybe that's what it was they were staging. So I got kicked out of my room, and couldn't have worked out any better. Here I was kind of upset about the deal, and Eric said, well, it's where you background some cattle.
That's right. It was one of my backgrounders, and his bunkhouse, which is really pretty elaborate.
I should say it's not a normal bunkhouse. I've seen it.
Have you?
Yeah, we was out there. The Mike and them stayed in it the other day. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty good selection of bourbon in there too, if I remember right.
I can't remember.
But we had a good time down there. I really enjoyed my time in Alabama. Get to hang out with these guys at Elite, and that's when they were having their independent sales, and they did a tremendous job. And that's why when I heard that we were all going to merge, I was pretty excited about that because I knew that would bang up job.
Yeah, it's been an awesome addition to Live Ag. That group down there, they do a tremendous job. So, Eric, let's kind of get into a little bit of what is Common Ground. What's the Common Ground Summit? What does it entail? What are the key issues that y'all are working on? Let's kind of get into some depth of that.
Before we get there, let me follow up on what you just said. I mean, it's been a great partnership for Elite to come together with Live Ag. We've grown our Elite footprint in ways we couldn't have done without coming together. So just let you know, we appreciate that. The customers out there in the country, it's a better way to serve them, and it's a better way to be together. So it's progress. Common Ground Summit was something that was several years in the making. It started out maybe 4 or 5 years ago with quite a few of the livestock groups coming together to try to find some way to keep producers in agriculture. And that simmered along for quite a little while, and nothing ever moved off the center. And so I'm going to give a lot of props to LMA for this. They saw that it was a need. They just decided after a while that they were willing to just take it up and go on their own. And we've been fortunate that it's been accepted across the country. These are not problems that are brand new. Agriculture's always been a low-margin business. In the past, it was so simple that when operations changed, they stayed in agriculture. It might have been a different person. It might have been a family expanded. Young people stayed on the place, and the ranch just grew. Today is not that way because all of a sudden people have valued property, and they have valued coming in, and when there's land available, other entities take it, either recreation. We've seen development. It's probably not as big a deal today. It's still a deal, but solar, these alternative energies are a little probably not as strong as they were 6 months ago. We've evolved this organization into a name now that's called Common Grounds, just Common Grounds. So the summit part is beyond us.
Yeah. I think what the LMA did was they looked at these multiple organizations and said, they don't agree on a whole lot of things. In the end, though, we all want the same thing.
We all agree on that.
Yeah, regardless of the organization, we all want the same thing in the end. And along the way, there are a few things that everybody agrees on.
Sure.
And can agree on. And I think that's where the root of this came from, was to say, can we at least find 4 or 5 things that we all agree on? And if those 4 or 5 things are productive in saving agriculture and keeping people in agriculture, keeping farmers in agriculture and producers, then why not stand on those?
The best part I got out of the deal, what I thought was so great, was when they did have the initial meeting and the follow-up meetings. When those different organizations come in the room, you leave your policies at the door. No matter if it's LMA or Tupper and that group or whoever's coming, the policies, your organization policies stay at the door. We're going to come in here, we're going to talk her out 4 or 5 key issues. We're all going to get aligned. We're all going to get behind it. And then you're going to go to your own organizations and we're going to attack it that way. I think it's a great idea. It's
one of the things we want to make clear is this is not an LMA organization. This is not an LMA. This is a producer push. This is who is driving this. LMA is the vehicle, but the producers are actually running this thing. And so it's a huge cross-section across the country. Wade and I are from a north and south geographical position as far away from each other as you can possibly be, with the same problems and the same interest and the same solutions that we got to come up with as if we were neighbors.
How do you go about learning more about it? Where do you go to learn? Where do you go to sign the petition? Because that's a big thing. They're trying to get a lot of names on the petition. Where do you do that at?
The sign up is really growing. There's every time we have a meeting across the country, Common Ground has someone there as a representative, and for the sign up and for the information outreach and outpush, you go to the website, Common Ground Coalition. It's out there right now, so if you'll just go to that. We don't need your information. We don't need your affiliation. We don't need anything other than your signature that says, I support agriculture and the continuation of agriculture.
Thinking about buying cattle or expanding your herd? You need a financial partner who understands the cattle business. AgTexas Farm Credit offers flexible loans for pasture, rangeland, and operating expenses. Their local lenders understand agriculture because they live it too. As a cooperative, their borrowers share in the success through patronage dividends. Whether you're buying your first set of cattle or growing a legacy operation, AgTexas is your partner every step of the way. Visit agtexas.com to learn more and get started today.
That's the big thing, is join us, show a unity, and that unity, then we've got to have some government help. We've got to have some people in Congress that are willing to say, we're going to stand beside you and make the business climate an opportunity to be successful. You're still going to have to work at it. You're still going to have to be productive. But if the business climate can support us, then I think we've got a real chance to continue on.
Yeah, this isn't asking for government handouts by any means.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. So talk about some of those common things that all these organizations have had. I think there was 4 or 5. We talked to Callie about it in Boise. She came from LMA. But what are a few of these really common denominators amongst all these organizations?
I'm a prime example of what this organization and the Common Ground should be. My wife and I started and have grown from a small outfit to a pretty big operation. We run a lot of yearlings, cover a lot of ground. I've got 3 sons. All of those are ranch raised, super good young men. None of them are going to be back on the ranch. They might own ranches, they might manage ranches, but they're not going to come back because they've got outside interest in other jobs. My dream is not their dream. And so what we've got to do in my own particular operation is find some way to continue cattle on my ground with another person who does want to do that. And so we've got to have some way for those people to buy in. The thing we can't do is penalize the retiring farmer by saying, oh, we want you to keep it in ag, but you're going to have to do it at a discount. All of our lives, we've acquired and made land payments and struggled and made, farm loans, bank loans. We've got to be able to reap that reward here at the end. And one of the things that we're doing is passing legislation that allows that to happen in Congress. So if we can get that, everybody wants to talk about the estate tax, but really the estate tax is just when you're dead. We need retirement mechanisms. And so that's one end of it. On the other end, we're looking at some ways for new and young farmers to enter the business, which is so difficult because of the cost involved today. So we had an idea one time, it's not going to maybe go anywhere, but if we could classify livestock production like a municipality is. Municipalities borrow money from financial institutions at quite a lower rate. And so if we could be classified as that same thing, perhaps our interest rates could be down 2 or 3 points from where they were, which would make a huge difference in getting into the industry. So those are each end of the spectrum, and there's a good bit in the middle.
When it comes to moving your livestock, you need more than just a truck and trailer. You need drivers who understand that your animals are your livelihood. Since 1987, Agar Transportation has earned the trust of ranchers nationwide with careful handling and professional service. Their experienced team treats every load like it's their own investment because they know what's at stake. Whether it's new bulls or a load full of calves, Agar gets your livestock there safely and stress-free. Call 208-452-5011 or visit agartransportation.com for your quote today. Agar Transportation, moving your future with care since 1987.
Well, there's two things I want to talk about. I'll get to the second one. The first thing, all I heard on that was that he's taking applications for grandkids to take over for him.
I was thinking that he was looking for somebody putting a wheel, and I was going to put my hand in the.
I saw your hand kind of flinching there over there.
We're gonna have people signing up for Common Ground. We're gonna have people calling you and asking how they can be your apprentice. Yeah.
Yes.
The other thing, you deal a lot with this LRP, livestock risk protection, and I know that is one of the topics that they're talking about with the Common Ground. Can you get into that a little bit? Some of the benefits that you see long term in viability of producers.
It's just a business, and if you're looking at it any other way than this is your business, then you're mistaken. We're in a competitive world today, and there's opportunities out there, and there are tools out there. LRP is one of those tools. It's one of the few programs that's been established that's actually gotten better as it's got a little age and maturity to it. There's an opportunity to have some input about other things that you would like to see the program grow at. I encourage people every day to evaluate their operation and see if it has a place for them. So right now we've got the most phenomenal cattle prices in the history of the cattle industry. And you have an opportunity today to use this LRP product to lock in those prices for next year's calf crop. And there's no reason for you not to look at that and take that into consideration. There's a variety of options into there, and you can fine-tune that program to anything that works for you. I'm in the yearling business, so it absolutely works for me. I can't afford to have a market pullback and not cover the calves that we're buying every day. We know we're going to get a great deal with Live Ag on our sales. On the other hand, you can't foretell the future and see those unexpected glitches. Yeah. Fundamentally, the cattle market is the most incredible it could be.
We can sell them high, but we can only sell them within today's market.
Oh, you're going to bring it to the top of the market for what the market is.
Right. And what you're saying is if that market isn't where you projected it to be, you can lock in a profit with your LRP.
This is risk protection. Yeah. It's a tool for producers to have, and it keeps you in business. It's a solid thing. It's like every car in a parking lot or every house you see driving down the road. Every one of them's got insurance on them, and every one of them hope they don't ever have to use it. On the other hand, when the house is burning down, you can't get insurance. So this is the time. Check with your agents. The product is the same. It's a crop insurance for calf kind of a program. And as producers and industry leaders, we've struggled for this, to get something like this for our sector of the industry for years. And we finally are there. We encourage people to use it, or at least look at it.
That's my biggest thing is a lot of producers out there, cow-calf guys out, don't understand it, and it scares them. And so that's one thing we as an industry need to do better, is going and educating these guys with these cow herds on the yearling guys are knowing it. They're in the business. They're used to it. They protected their yearlings for years. The stocker guys have done it all. But these producers, these cow-calf guys, never had nothing like that. So now when they see something like that, it just kind of, they're like standoffish. They're like, what are they trying to? They're trying to get me here. There's another way they're trying to get $1 off of me. So we need to, as an industry whole, we need to do a better job of explaining that to those smaller producers that need to understand it.
Well, think about that producer. Let's say there's a producer 60 years old and they got 100 cows, and they've built that cow herd up since they were 20 years old or something, right out of high school. How many times in that 40 years that they've been building that herd have they been taken advantage of? Throughout their lifetime, throughout their career. And so when something like LRP comes in and they don't understand it, it's another thing that could potentially be taken advantage of those. So there's got to be a more thorough explanation. And I'm sure there's going to be people watching this podcast that we use those terms, or we use the abbreviation LRP, or we use LMA. LRP, we're talking about livestock risk protection. And we're talking about insuring the animals that you have into the future to price protect them.
You're not insuring your calf. You still have to do a good job in production. You get paid for what you produce, but we are protecting price. So this price is run up. Remarkably, some of the people who are against a lot of things for no special reason at all will tell people, this is a terrible program. This is something that the government is just telling you, and they're managing your cattle, and they're telling you what you got to do. That is absolutely not true. People ask me those questions every day because I talk LRP to people every day. And I tell every one of them, these cattle are yours. You make the decisions. Don't ever get that confused. When you get ready to sell them, you sell them. They're yours.
Are you ready to grab your own piece of Texas? Whether you're buying, selling, or scouting out your next adventure, Texas Ranch Sales is your go-to. They know land, and they know how to get it in your hands. From massive cattle ranches to hunting land that stretches for miles, they've got what you're looking for. Their expertise and commitment to the land are what set them apart, helping you make informed decisions every step of the way. So whether you're buying your first ranch or expanding your legacy, Texas Ranch Sales has got your back. Visit TexasRanchSales.com today to get started on your ranching journey. Then, head over to TexasRanchJournal.com to sign up for the exclusive quarterly magazine. Texas Ranch Sales. Land is more than property. It's your future. Your genetics deserve to reach buyers nationwide. Live Ag Purebred connects you with more buyers through professional live streaming and customizable marketing packages, handled by representatives with years of auction experience who understand your program. Ready to showcase your seed stock professionally? Watch and bid on sales through our platform, or stream your own sale to reach buyers across the country. Scan the QR code to connect with your Purebred rep, or visit live-ag.com to get started today. Live Ag Purebred, because experience matters on sale day.
He's passionate about not only LRP, and it's part of your business, and you feel like it benefits producers, and so he's really passionate about it. And when I got to talk to him in Alabama, I found out he's very passionate about the common ground. He's passionate about producers, and when I talk to somebody like that, and you can see that in their eyes, you think like, man, there's something different about this guy. And then he told me where he went to college and what he did there. Tell us about that.
I don't know. We may not be able to tell all those things. I did
you don't
in
have
college.
to tell all the stories.
I went to Ole Miss, and I was a football player there. And I've been fortunate in my life, like a lot of kids growing up. You're trying to decide what you want to be, and some kids want to be football players, and some kids want to be soldiers, and some people want to be cowboys. And I've been fortunate enough in my life that I got to be all three. So I'm a past military, past football, current cowboy.
That's where that dogged determination comes from right there. You don't do any of those things without having some determination.
I'm going to tell you, lots of grit and lots of determination. So, well, guys, is there anything else we want to touch on before we kind of shut this thing off here?
I really do. Just a minute, Ty. I really want people to understand this is important. This is the future of the industry. This is an opportunity for us to be proactive, jump out there in front, say that it's not just about ranchers and farmers. It's about rural communities. When you lose a ranch and you turn it into development or you turn it into recreation, all of those little businesses go away. All of those are dependent on what we do. So our reach goes way out. And if it's important for you, for the United States to continue to be food friendly or food
Dependent.
supportive, or we don't want to be food dependent.
Right.
That's what we absolutely don't want to do. We don't want to import all of our stuff. In my lifetime, after World War II, I'm not that old, but we've given up most of our manufacturing. We've given up most of our knowledge. We've given up a lot of our wealth. The only thing we hadn't really given up is agriculture. And I'm determined in my productive career that I'm going to campaign that we continue to have a solid agricultural base.
Well, this is one of those opportunities to not say somebody should have done something. Yep. This is an opportunity to actually step in and say, we're going to do this. Sign up. Get on board.
Sign up. If you'll go to the website, sign your name. That's the biggest thing we need. Support. If you go to Congress and you don't have a lot of names and support on there, you don't get much attention. That's just the way it is.
Common Grounds Coalition is it? Or it'll be in the chat. It'll be on the link of the podcast. So if
and
you
it's
want,
a pop up. If you'll just type in Common Grounds, it pops up.
Common Grounds Coalition. If you will, when you're watching this, just go to that site, research it, get more information for yourself, and as you read through it, you'll understand that you want to be a part of it, because it is a industry wide. It's not just one segment of the industry.
And it's not just ranchers and farmers. It's just Americans that think agriculture is important to this country.
Yep. You don't have to own cows. You don't have to have a farm. If you think being dependent on just solely American farms and American ranchers to produce our food here in America, this is something you need to get behind.
Correct. That's our message.
So, okay. Well, thanks everybody. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Yeah. I appreciate being here.
Appreciate you flying in.
Yeah, you betcha.
And so, thank everybody out there in social media land for watching this We Live It podcast. Once again, we can't thank y'all enough for supporting us. If you have any comments, please comment on this. If you have any questions, please ask those questions. We will get back to you with the answers. If we don't know them, we'll call Eric. He knows them. So, subscribe, like, all those good things, and we appreciate you, and God bless.